January 2nd, 2026. Late at night in Caracas, Nicolas Maduro was inside his residence with his wife. The president of Venezuela was resting, unaware that this would be the most decisive night of his life. For years, Maduro had openly mocked the United States. He called it the empire. He laughed at Donald Trump. He insisted, again and again, that Washington would never dare to touch him. That night, according to multiple reports, the joke was about to end. While Maduro remained inside his compound, a military operation had already been in motion for weeks. For nearly 28 weeks, U.S. Navy vessels had been quietly deployed across the Caribbean, not as a show of force, but as preparation. On the ground, U.S. intelligence agencies were reportedly tracking Maduro's daily routine in Caracas, his movements, his routes, his habits, where he ate, when he traveled, which roads he trusted. At the same time, communications were allegedly being intercepted, while high-resolution satellite imagery mapped the entire area in extreme detail. Nothing left to chance. Nothing left unmapped. As some joked online later, they probably had better maps of Caracas than Google, and maybe even better than Call of Duty. U.S. Special Forces had been on standby since Christmas, but the final decision came on Tuesday, January 2nd. Military advisors reportedly informed President Donald Trump that conditions were ideal: low cloud cover, reduced visibility, perfect for a surprise operation. At 11:46 p.m. Caracas time, the order was allegedly given, the mission was approved, and the operation began. From multiple locations, land bases and aircraft carriers stationed in the Caribbean, approximately 150 aircraft took to the air: fighter jets, bombers, attack helicopters, surveillance drones. Elite Delta Force operators boarded Chinook helicopters and V-22 Ospreys, aircraft specifically designed for rapid infiltration. Flying just 30 meters above sea level, the formation moved toward Venezuela, staying below radar detection. Once over land, air defenses were targeted to open a clear corridor for the helicopters. Key military locations were reportedly hit, clearing the way for what came next. At 2:01 a.m., the helicopters reached their objective, the building where Maduro was believed to be sleeping, commonly identified as the Cuartel de la Montaña. As the helicopters descended, they came under fire. They returned fire. They landed. Delta Force operators moved fast. They breached the building, pushing through limited resistance, blowing through doors one after another. Inside, Maduro was already awake. The man who had spent years mocking the U.S. military was now running for a reinforced panic room, a bunker, steel walls, designed to survive days under siege. But according to the account, he didn't make it. Before the door could be sealed, U.S. forces intercepted him. Maduro and his wife surrendered immediately. Later, Trump would reportedly joke that even if Maduro had locked himself inside, the reinforced doors would have been breached in under a minute. So much for "they'll never dare." With the target secured, the team lifted off. As helicopters moved back toward the coast, fighter jets and bombers cleared the extraction route. No major resistance, no critical setbacks. At 4:29 a.m., the helicopter carrying Maduro landed on the aircraft carrier USS Dwight D. Eisenhower. That's where one of the most surreal images of the story allegedly comes from. Maduro wearing VR goggles, awkwardly playing a virtual reality game, from defying the empire to learning how to grab virtual water bottles. The aircraft carrier reportedly set course for New York, where Maduro and his wife would be handed over to U.S. authorities. Charges mentioned include narco-terrorism conspiracy, cocaine trafficking, and illegal weapons possession. Trump claimed he watched the entire operation live through military cameras and described it as one of the most professional missions in modern history. Those recordings remain classified, and unless they are ever leaked, the full footage may never be seen.